Do you try and defend it so that this way you can get the upper ground? What is the idea here for an attacking squad? What do you guys think?
I think that the key here is to hold the skyscraper. And the reason I'm saying that is because that you can power drop into pretty much any base you want from there. So if you get infantry up into the top of the skyscraper, they can pretty much access the whole map, which is a huge tactical advantage in this map.
Now, how do you? Now, the other thing I'm curious about: how do you go about defending the skyscraper, right? The bottom portion of it. I know it's a big thing is keeping armor out, not pushing around it. But what do you guys do?
So first of all, I think you need to control the bay. If you're using a boat to control the bay area and not have people trying to take the building down, to keep the skyscraper intact is if you have the top of the skyscraper, you want to keep it. That's probably, and then you need to control the bay because that's where the weak points of the skyscrapers are.
Oh, that poor guy.
Yeah.
You don't take a gun to a car fight. So yeah, I mean, really, so you do want to control the bay. Also, when you secure C, you also get the gunship, which if your commander is paying attention, you can deploy, and that could cause a lot of problems. Now, can the gunship attack land vehicles as well?
Yes.
Is it that effective?
Yes. The gunship is mainly a ground attack vehicle, so to basically have access to these cannons that you can shoot down on ground, quite powerful cannons that you use. The thing is that if you take the skyscraper down, there's another incentive to take it down if you're on the other team.
Oh no, they left him.
Because then you get all this dust that covers the map.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit difficult for the gunners in a gunship to actually hit something on the ground. Then you're more required for people to spot things, and you need more intel basically in order to use that gunship really well. So I would say the tactic B is like capture the skyscraper and keep it.
And also, don't destroy your helicopters.
Also, yeah, don't destroy your helicopters.
You really, really do need your helicopters.
Yes.
So we are looking here, Bravo 30, one of the 64 players that are playing in this play session right now. And you can see the Bravo Commander up top, Commander Mode, the feature that has been brought back from Battlefield in the past, and has received a lot of praise from the community. From what I understand, a lot of people are like, I just want to play it. I just want to mess around with that. It certainly is a very cool feature. So when you look at what the commander could do, how, if you don't mind me asking, how do you guys go about choosing who is the commander? Is that something that is being done right now? Like, think like, okay, how are we going to implement this in matchmaking and servers, or is it like teammates vote their play, their
So we will have a system that I think people will find fair. We just won't go into any specifics right now as we're kind of working our way through.
But a fair system is in place.
Fair system is in place. So I think that you will find it satisfactory in the way that we manage it. It's in the in the spirit of the previous system.
Obviously, there's a lot of new things that have been revealed, and there is a lot of stuff that, as time moves on, is going to be announced and shown. So, hopefully a lot of people out there are pleased with that, because, and I think that they will be. I think that I think they trust your judgment, your guys' judgment, in bringing a fair and just system for Commander Mode. I know that I'm excited. I want to be a commander like all the time when I play this game. I actually don't. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty good on the ground, but I just want to shoot some artillery at people. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
So now the other thing too is, have you guys just in the process of just talking about the scope of Battlefield 4, what is the one thing that you look at this game and you're thinking to yourself when you see it implemented, when you see it work, or when you put it in there and it started to work, you were just like, that's gonna be the hook right there. What is that hook that you think that is going to attract so many players to play to Battlefield 4?
So I guess I must only speak for myself. I can't really.
So what's your hook? What's your hook?
Let's base this on me. I think what you're seeing right now on the screen with the whole evolution event that happened, and the fact that we're kind of dynamically changing the environment of the map over time, forcing you to kind of adapt to the situations. It's one of the things that I feel is most impactful and interesting to me as a player.
Okay.
It's kind of what I always wanted the Battlefield to be more like this, and once we finally got in this transition into a different environment, and this is to me, one of the big game changers. You can imagine, by we having this change going on this map, you could also, I guess, imagine that we could do something interesting on other maps as well. We won't do the same thing twice, but we can do interesting things with the environment.
So Levolution is like that thing that you saw and you're like, this is it. This is our hook. This is what I love, and I know that thousands of other people are gonna love this too.
Yeah, one of them, and I would say Levolution isn't a feature per se. It's more like an umbrella term or a design choice that we're trying to tie all the things together in the term Levolution. So it's, but I think the other thing that excites me personally quite well is the fact that we get finally being 64 players on console.
Yes.
60 FPS.
Yes.
These things is a big thing for me. Something that I always were a bit sad that we hadn't before. And now finally we can do it, and then it excites me tremendously.
Let's talk about that, because you see, I'm a console player through and through, and I know there are a lot of people that are watching right now that are console players as well.
Yep.
And they are thinking, oh, I want to get my next-gen console, and look at this, you can actually see the Ballards in action right there. That tank cannot cross because of the fact that Ballard is there. I love that. It just really balances things out. Doesn't allow the tanks to have free roam wherever they want to go. You keep on trying, guys, but
just get out.
Just go and push the button, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's right there.
Push the button.
And then get sniped.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just waiting for someone to jump past.
So in looking at the console and bringing 64 players, what were the challenges with that? Were there any challenges, if at all?
There's tremendous challenges, both in engine and on content creator side.
I don't think this is a good idea.
No.
I don't know what I don't know, but we left them because we knew where that was going. That was going to go nowhere fast, and all they had to do was just push the button.
Exactly.
The little things in the game that I think really are awesome. So before we go into the little things, let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about the next-gen consoles 64 player maps. Was that something that when you saw the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, you said we got to do this? This needs to be done.
I think that when we first heard about we were going into a new console transition, that was one of the first things that we said. You know what? We must do this. We must go 64 players, and we must go 60 FPS. That's the and since that's
that was the goal,
basically
the mission.
We decided that right there. It was just a natural fit, you could say. It's just something that I've always wanted to do, and so now we finally are able to do it.
Yeah.
And I know that's also been requested by quite a few people out there. That but what this really means for me personally is that finally console players can experience the battlefield that the PC players have done for quite some time.
Have been raving about, yeah.
Yeah, 60 FPS and so it's super exciting. That's one of the things that I think will make a difference for console players by quite a lot.
Now, how, if you don't mind me asking, how in depth are you, or I guess you could say, what are your thoughts on the customization? We saw a lot of cool attachments, me and Corey, when we were messing around with it, like the canted scope, the green laser sight, the regular laser sight as well. Customization, that is certainly something that you guys are definitely embracing. As you did with Battlefield 3, is that, is what we're seeing right now, we're going to see more down the line? Is that like a taste of the treats that we're going to get when we hop into the battlefield?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, from top of my head, I don't remember how much pieces of customization you have right now, but
there's a lot.
There's so much more.
There's a lot.
We added customizations to sidearms, which I'm quite excited about.
Yeah, I actually saw that brought up in, actually, it was in Reddit, ironically enough. I was going through Reddit, and someone was like, did you notice that? And he had the pistol with the sight on it. So that's pretty cool. Definitely something very different for Battlefield that hasn't been done before. Do you like that personally? Is that like something that you think about? You're like, yeah, I really do enjoy scopes on my pistol.
I remember playing recently, and there's quite a few people. It was a point in time where the DICE people had access to to a gun with that no one else had access to. I think it was like a gun with a silencer or something like that. And people were like, "Oh, Alex, you need to die so I can pick up your weapon and try it." You know, just for a sidearm that had a silencer on it. So I think that this is something that people wanted. I think they want that creativity to be, you know, if I want the silenced sidearm, or if I want that scope on it, they can do it. If they don't want to do it, then it's fine. Then it won't change the game as much as perhaps, you know, customizing your main weapon. But it's definitely something that for those who really dive into the details and really want to cater to your specific experience, then that's something that I think people will appreciate quite a lot.
Yeah, and without a doubt, it really is something that I was pleasantly surprised by. I know a lot of other people were like, "Whoa, this is crazy," because again, like you said, it was a requested feature. It was something that people wanted to see before. Now it is being done finally. Yep. And then the other thing that I want to ask you about too is what we're about to see right now. We saw actually this player hop into the water, but you can go under the water now.
Yes.
What's up with that? I mean, how why put that into the game? Did you want to get those cool epic, you know, moments where they come through the swamp like a bunch of, you know, a bunch of bad guys just doing their business?
No, it wasn't actually that. It was just that when we started, you know, we added these networked waves, right?
Okay.
So basically you can have big waves networked, so you can drive boats across, you know, basically rolling sand dunes that are changing the environment all the time. So when we started to play around with, you know, this in multiplayer specifically, and so we realized, you know, it feels a bit stale now that you need to add more interesting things to do in the water.
Yeah.
Exactly. So one of the things that was a big problem in previous games when you were in water, you were basically a sitting duck for people to shoot you.
Yes.
So basically we wanted to, okay, so what can we do here? Okay, let's dive under and see, and so you can swim for a little while, and basically that's a way for you to escape. The second thing there is that you can use